The flourishing of the human soul. 2,500 years ago, Buddha descended to the earth, and in his short but transcendental sojourn here, he pointed out two fundamental aspects in the life of the human being. The first, the bodhicitta, as the seed of enlightenment. The second, the origin and cessation of suffering. Throughout the centuries, Buddhist scholars have explained and put these teachings into practice with great success. From the perspective of Pneuma, we can understand that when Buddha spoke of the bodhicitta as the seed of enlightenment, he was referring to the spiritual dimension of the human being, the human soul. Half a millennium later, after Gautama Shakyamuni, the Buddha, the Master Jesus reaffirmed this truth with a resounding statement. In patience, you shall possess your souls. If we reflect on these words, we will realize that the soul is the spiritual part of the human being. Therefore, according to this teaching of Jesus, human beings do not yet possess the totality of their soul, but rather an embryo of it, like a seed from which it can flourish through an ethical, psychological, and spiritual process that will gradually lead the human being towards self-realization or enlightenment, speaking in Buddhist terms. What is the soul? How could we define it? In its most immaculate aspect, we could say that the soul is a collection of psychological, ethical, and spiritual values, sublime emotions, inner strength, powers, and wisdom, qualities that sustained the primordial human beings in a state of love, peace, and happiness internally. A human being who fully embodies this condition is without a doubt an enlightened being. But Buddha and Jesus speak only of a portion of the human soul. So where did the other part of the soul remain? If we pause to analyze the process of Buddhahood of Gautama Shakyamuni, we notice that his enlightenment was possible because he faced and conquered Mara and his demons. Buddha conquered all the trials that Mara imposed on him, in the same way that Jesus mastered the three temptations. In this context, Mara, or the demon, is constituted by all the egos from which all mental, emotional, and physical disturbances which live in anonymity within the human being psyche are generated. These disturbances, the origin of suffering, have managed to put human beings to sleep and to condition a large part of their soul. Now we can understand why all of humanity tends towards happiness, but at the same time, their lifestyle hides and perverts that legitimate yearning. In this way, the suffering of the human collective has intensified, and in this way, they have forgotten their true nature and their purpose within this precious human existence. Under these conditions, without realizing it, we find ourselves immersed in a whirlpool of personal and collective suffering that seems to advance without any control. People attempt to alleviate physical illnesses, and especially mental and emotional illnesses, with medications and therapies with very limited results. Faced with this panorama in which we as humanity find ourselves, we need an antidote, against spiritual amnesia. Pneuma offers this antidote, constituted by the knowledge of ourselves. This intimate knowledge is possible thanks to the incorporation of attention practices, the exploration of our mental continuum, meditation, and also something very novel and effective, the expanded states of consciousness that the practice of Pneuma breathwork produces. These tools are essential for cultivating mental and emotional health that produces balance and a deeper connection with ourselves and with our soul. Through the study of ourselves, we will recover our spiritual memory, from which we will learn to live in the present, free from invasive and harmful thoughts and emotions, which can become the key to a healthier, more serene, and authentic life. The expansion of consciousness produced by Pneuma breathwork leads us to a space of analytical meditation. Through conscious self-exploration of our being, we will understand our emotions, desires, and fears with greater depth. Only from this consciousness are we able to forge connections with the most authentic thoughts and emotions, enriching our existence and recovering the sacred vision of life. The results of studying ourselves give us the invaluable gift of a more serene life, allowing us to face daily challenges with greater calm and clarity. The work on oneself requires will. We must not live life avoiding effort. If we dedicate ourselves to internal practice, we will experience our inner beauty along with the freshness and sacred aroma of life, thus initiating ourselves in the reconstruction of our soul. In this process of making the seed of our soul flourish, we will learn to live without the constant weight of mental and emotional tension, which not only benefits our personal well-being, but becomes an essential pillar for reducing stress and improving the quality of our relationships. Let us reflect on the importance of restoring the beautiful attributes of our soul. These attributes do not flourish in indolence, but rather in the activity of daily life and in conscious psycho-spiritual practice, which must be integrated into our daily life. To patiently transfigure our soul and to develop the bodhicitta is our duty as humanity. The recovery of our soul, or the growth of the bodhicitta, will be evidenced through an inner state where we will perceive a gradual emergence of inner peace. Developing bodhicitta will help us to create and live in a compassionate and enlightened society, because a person who is more conscious, more loving, and more at peace with themselves is a light that illuminates the path toward a humanity free from suffering. In the future, humanity is enlightened. The future is now. Thank you.